Hello, it's Krista back with you again today. And yes, I do have yet again another tooth out. Now I'm down to 6 teeth, and although it does kind of make me laugh, it gives me some humor throughout the days. I try not to be judgmental of the way that I look or judgmental at all about myself or others, although we are only human, and we can find plenty of humor in a lot of things. Thank God gave us humor. Um, so, yeah, still working on the teeth, and yet again, back on the road as a taxi. And just watched a beautiful sunset come up this morning, and I haven't seen one of those in quite a while. But even as the corona stuff passes along, we might be getting back up on our feet again. We might be standing up, cleaning and sweeping our house and putting Christmas decorations up if you haven't already, and doing that last 2 minute Christmas shopping like I usually do. But it still at least fills the occasion with joy and fun, even if we might be grieving for the loss of loved ones, or maybe bigger stress has come along in our lives. At least it can be an uplifting time if we can accept it and just try to get some enjoyment out of it, and accept that we can enjoy things instead of that negative self-talk that we were taught our whole lives. And instead of criticizing this going wrong and that not being right, we can stop in the moment and practice gratitude and see the beauty in things for the moment, and just take some time to breathe. Practice meditation in the morning or whenever you get a chance daily. And it really, I love what it does, because people are so on the go all the time, that we can finally stop and just become still and practice stillness and enjoy maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes out of your day to be still and just breathe, and to release some negative energy and breathe in positive energy, positive white light, for a few minutes, and just breathe out all, and learn to accept the moment, forgive yourself. Maybe you're at that point where you're in recovery, and maybe deep down inside, we've been taught to hate ourselves, and we were never loved correctly, but to forgive ourselves and others for that too, where we can get to a place where we can just accept things as is and be proud of ourselves for entering and being in recovery, and whatever that is. Even if we have personality disorder such as bipolar or borderline depressive disorder, even dissociative, schizophrenia, whatever it is today that we were left with, to accept it as it is and realize that we are doing the work. And some days can be really tough, especially when we're dealing with others. maybe living with some others, or just dealing with our own bouts of depression or loss. Maybe we're really hard on ourselves, and we need to forgive ourselves for doing the things that we did in the past when we were trying to cope and numb out and numb the emotional pain that maybe we were never allowed to release as we were growing up. And we had to hide the fact that we did have emotions, and some of those included anger and sadness. But now that we have begun to place boundaries with ourselves and others, how has your world began to change because of this? I know I have been kind of a bad enabler in the past, and was taught that by my parents. That's a for sure given one. But instead of blaming them, just seeing it, maybe kind of laughing at it, and if you do and can have any love in your hearts and forgive others and yourself, because we did not know what we do know now. And it can really lift ourselves into a more lighted place, where we can see things from a better perspective and a wiser perspective. And other people might not like it. I know I have a son that is in recovery as well, works on his own recovery. And as he sees me work on mine and my struggle, he does not like it when I say no to him. And also when you're dealing with toxic people with maybe more narcissistic qualities, no matter who it is, maybe it's your husband or wife or your cousin, or your friend, and narcissists don't like being told no, because they've been most likely been enabled their whole lives to do whatever they wanted, and were possibly very spoiled in certain aspects, where they were always left to do whatever they wanted. And even when that came to using whatever it is and allowing it, and allowing those children to do whatever they wanted to in the house, because that's what they were taught. That's what we were taught. So when we do start having these boundaries and working on ourselves, we do have to start saying no to things, and that can be really hard, especially for codependents who have always learned to comply with the more narcissistic person of the home. And I see now how extremely hard that it can be to say yes to things instead of no, when I know that it's totally wrong. But to begin to learn and stop yourself, and do start weighing the pros and cons of things instead of saying yes right away, or having people talk you right into things, to stop, and maybe even sometimes get the support of another person and group up with maybe a group or another person, and can even help in your recovery, family members. I see now, I feel like I did a great job yesterday with my son, where, we were offered something, he was offered something, and I started naming the cons of the situation and everything involved in it, and helped teach him of weighing the pros and the cons. And it ended up that a lot of times when we do this, we can pull ourselves out of choosing more dangerous situations to join, where we're not only hurting ourselves and possibly, without losing our jobs, getting to work on time, and having that stability to keep our money, not spend our money up, and have the essentials that we do need, and not ignore our own essential needs instead of running to please everybody else by enabling, and just beginning to say no to, and no matter how upset that they get, uh, making sure that we have a roof over our shelter and where it's safe, um, making sure that we have transportation, a job, or attain work, something that fits maybe with our personality disorders, or in our recovery, or our own health needs. If maybe we have some health issues, what kind of job really fits us, where we can not run ourselves to death, but have time to look within, and maybe start doing those hobbies, and enjoying some hobbies that maybe we might end up having as a job one day, when we can start creating maybe a little bit of dependence, of saving some cash. Even if we're not able to do that today, we can always work towards it and strive towards it, even every little penny. Just, I know sometimes it can seem impossible, and if you're surrounded by a toxic family yet, or a job, or a lifestyle, you might have people at every corner telling you that you can't do this, and they disrespect your material possessions, and are always constantly telling you what's wrong with you, or the way that you're talking to them, like they're making you out to be the bad guy. Watch out for hanging around these people all the time, because they can start making you think that after a while, to the point where maybe we can't use our voice anymore, and we need to keep using and standing up for ourselves, our new thoughts and values and worth, and even teach these things to others as we grow and we learn. What point are you at in your recovery today? Are you teaching your family the word no? What kind of struggle is it when you do use the word no and you go through with it? How hard is it to do that on a scale of 1 to 10? If you can think to yourself for a moment, that you think it is easy to do this, yet when it comes down to it, to start catching yourself, and just becoming awake enough to see when we are asserting these new boundaries, and where we can practice them, and even if it doesn't work right away, where we can go back later and say, I changed my mind, and really mean it and go through with it. Give yourself some credit, because this stuff that we're learning might seem ugly at first when we're having to deal with people, and maybe they're doing an outright rebellion on you. Like, I think some of my kids do that when I really look at it, where they take things of mine and I don't see them again, or whatever it is. How much are they getting away with? And are you confronting them? Are you not ignoring it anymore? I know it can seem hopeless, and I've spent many a night crying about it already. And it can happen sometimes lately on a daily basis. I know after the corona, my head is still a little off. You can still be a little fuzzy, brain-wise, but not to give up, to keep going forward and give yourself the credit that you deserve, whether you need to hug yourself or a pat on the back, and just keep chugging along. Maybe you need to take a break from maybe the schoolwork that you're doing for a while if things start eroding and changing. Sometimes we need to take a break and this or that, and just kind of get it together again to where you're at a much more calm, more relaxed, peaceful state. If something is troubling you, like you can't find work, or you can't seem to have that great relationship with that cousin or that daughter of yours anymore, where you try everything and it just doesn't work, maybe to let it go for a while and just start focusing on your needs and just keep going with maybe your hobby is writing or reading, making airplanes, creating outfits, and you might join new groups online or in real life. Maybe you might want to join up a yoga class, but not to sit there and focus on these people not wanting to join your life at this time. Because I think in a lot of cases where you start leading your own life and you start enjoying your life, you are much more of a person that people will end up looking up to in the end, and maybe following in the end, as they can learn these things from you as well. So don't completely give up. And this creates so much more value in your life. And when we do start creating new morals like these boundaries and saying no, and learning to love, accept, and trust ourselves, where we are able to give that in return. And maybe some 50% of people during this time might walk away. New people will join you, or you might start forming a better relationship with Susie, your next door neighbor. I know it can be really lonely at times, but just to continue what you're doing, maybe you have to take a break in between things, but just to maybe pick it up later, and don't give up hope. I know I say this over and over again, but when we live, especially still in toxic homes and environments, or still have a toxic job, it can be easy to just get into the crazy making that they do and feel like a stress and that you're just losing it. Your anxiety and depression might hit the roof. And oftentimes we might feel like getting back into that helpless victim mode. But I think the greatest thing of all is that we are learning not to be a victim anymore, slowly but surely. And just to give yourself a pat on the back today, and people around you too that you see might be following some of your steps and footsteps. Give them a pat on the back too, because we're all trying here, and that's what counts the most. So thanks for listening today, and have a great one. Peace.